In this video, we will be simplifying entire radicals using perfect powers. In this example, we simplify the square root of 160. Recall, for a square root, the index is a 2. This is the engine that drives the whole process. So we need to look for the largest perfect square factor of 160. Looking at some perfect squares, we can see that 4 will be a factor of 160, but it's not the largest. The largest is 16. So the square root of 160 can be written as the square root of 16 times 10. We can split this apart using the multiplication property of radicals as the square root of 16 times the square root of 10. The square root of 16 is 4. We end up with 4 root 10. The greatest perfect square factor for 10 is a 1, and we know we are done. So the square root of 160 is 4 root 10. Let's look at a cube root. Let's simplify the cube root of 432. The index is a 3, and that drives the whole process. So we need to look for the largest perfect cube factor of 432. Let's look at some perfect cubes. 8 will be a factor of 432, but the largest one in the list is 216. So we can rewrite the cube root of 432 as the cube root of 216 times 2. We can split it apart as the cube root of 216 times the cube root of 2 using the multiplication property of radicals. And the cube root of 216 is 6, so it's 6 times the cube root of 2. For 2, the greatest perfect cube factor is a 1, and we know we're done. So we end up with 6 times the cube root of 2. So the cube root of 432 is equivalent to the mixed radical of 6 cube root of 2. Let's simplify some more radicals. Let's look at a, which is the square root of 162. Look at the radicand 162. If we add up all the digits, we end up with 9. So it's divisible by 9, and 9 is a perfect square. So 3 squared equals 9. But that's not the largest one. The largest perfect square factor of 162 is 9 squared, which is 81. So we can rewrite the 162 as 81 times 2. We can split it apart as the square root of 81 times the square root of 2. And we know that 2 is prime. So the square root of 81 is 9. So this is the square root, really, of 9 squared times the square root of 2. And the index and the exponent undo each other. So it's 9 root 2. So that means that the square root of 162 is equivalent to the mixed radical of 9 root 2. Let's look at b. b is the fifth root of 288. Let's look at our first power of 2 to the 5. 2 to the 5 is 32. 288 is divisible by 32. In fact, the fifth root of 288 can be written as the fifth root of 32 times 9. We can split this apart as the fifth root of 32 times the fifth root of 9. The fifth root of 32 is really the fifth root of 2 to the 5 times the fifth root of 9. These undo, and we're left with 2. So it's 2 times the fifth root of 9. So that means that the fifth root of 288 is equivalent to the mixed radical of 2 and the fifth root of 9. Please proceed to the next video in this lesson, and thank you for viewing.